Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tech Tuesday. Thank you for joining us tonight, those of you who are live and also those who will be watching the recording later. I've been covering a little bit of business in the last couple of weeks on this series, and we're talking about the 45-second presentation. And it's really just simplifying the whole question of anybody who would be open to looking at what it is that we've got to share with them. And we've gone through all the basics. We call it the napkin presentations. This is a series or a book that was written by Don Failer, who has been in the network marketing field for many, many decades and has a huge team. And he came up with this very, very simple system a few years ago and then created a book and an audio book of the same thing. There is a full book, and what we do is we give you the first 4 chapters for free. And that's both in the audio as well as the ebook version. And it really just shows what they call the napkin presentations. There are 10 presentations altogether, and he shows you the first 4. So I'm going to share my screen and get going, picking up from where we left off the last time. Oops. Okay, let me just hide me out of the way over here. So the title of the book is called The 45-Second Presentation. It will change your life. And we're going to continue to see exactly how that works. So a little bit of additional background. If you need to pick up from where we were doing from last week, please go back and watch the previous recordings. They're all on the YouTube channel. Remember, we showed you in napkin presentation number 1 that with 780 distributors, it doesn't matter which program you are in, you'll have a very sizable volume. This is a generic book, so it works for any network marketing program, whether you're providing a service or whether you're providing a product. It will work the same way. Naturally, you can see the advantages of building a business with a vehicle that has consumable products and services. As I spoke about last week, it's very difficult to create a business where, like a certain Tupperware or a certain plastic company that has a lifetime guarantee on products, and some people use it and they never have to change it again. There's certain cookware companies that do the same thing. I don't know how they're still working, but that is a lot more direct sales more than the network marketing thing. So the more you buy and the more products you use, the better your volume. Most network marketing companies are in that category. Non-consumables are usually marketed through retail or direct sales methods, but not always. The other result of using the products or company services yourself is that you'll get excited about them because you can't talk about things you don't use. Same as in my job. I can't talk to an amputee from an amputee perspective because I'm very fortunate to have both arms and both legs. However, if I have another amputee to talk to a new amputee, the result is so much better. I can give the theory, but I can't give the first-hand experience. And it's exactly the same in any situation. If you've been through a situation, you'll be able to talk to somebody who is experiencing that situation for the first time. And you can then explain how you did it, and they will learn from you. Rather than spend a large sum of money on advertising, network marketing companies put their money into product or service development, and as a result, would usually have a higher quality product or service than that which is normally available in a retail store. So let's get back to the story that illustrates our 4 points. The third thing you, of course, do is to get into high gear. We are talking about a manual car. And in South Africa, most people drive manuals. Not too many people drive automatics. Or in the States, they call them stick shifts. So when you get into a car, you've got to go from first to second to third to fourth to fifth. And if you've got a fancy car, sixth or even higher. Of course, you realize that nobody starts out in high gear. I don't know if you've ever tried to take off from a dead stop in fifth gear. You don't get very far. We all start out in neutral. Incidentally, notice that we are not driving an automatic. We may be in the car, still in the driveway, with the key turned on and the motor racing, but if we never get out of neutral, we will never get to our ultimate destination, or anywhere else for that matter. To get your car into gear, you must sponsor someone into the business. When you sponsor someone, you are in first gear. We believe you should be in first gear 5 times with 5 serious people. In one of the other presentations, we show you how to determine which of your people are serious. So now we're going to run through the gears. And our story continues as you work your way through the entire gearbox. You will start your 5 people to get into gear also. You teach them how to get into first gear by sponsoring someone else. When each of your 5 people is in first gear 5 times, you will be in second gear 25 times. Hope this is making sense to you. You teach your 5 people to teach their 5 to get into first gear 5 times. They are now in second gear 25 times each, and that puts you in third gear 125 times. Remember, first napkin presentation? Go back and look it up. This explains everything. And this simplifies it. So anytime that you get in your car and you drive, I hope everybody's driving manual cars and not automatics like Charlie, but when you climb in your car and you put your key in the ignition or push the ignition button and you put your car into gear, and even in an automatic, you still have to go from neutral to drive. All works the same way. Think about these presentations. When you have third level distributors in your organization, you are in third gear. And have you noticed how much smoother your car runs in fourth gear? Have you ever tried to drive from, let's say, Pinetown to Durban in second gear or third gear? Don't you go a lot easier, a lot faster, a lot more economically in the top gear, be it fourth or fifth? I remember hearing a story about some lady who had flown into Johannesburg Airport and hired a car to drive to Bloemfontein. Unfortunately, she didn't realize that the car was an automatic, or at least it was a manual. So she put her car into first gear and she attempted to drive from Johannesburg to Bloemfontein in first gear. She got to about 100 kilometers outside Bloemfontein and the engine melted. Didn't end so well. And your organization will do the same thing. If you keep going in first gear, you're going to burn out. You're going to melt. It's not going to end well. So you want to be in high gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, whichever one is your high gear, as soon as you can. When your first levels are in third gear, you will be in fourth gear. Naturally, you want your people to be in high or fourth gear as well. And when they are, you are in overdrive. So how do you get into overdrive? You simply help teach the people you sponsored to get their people into third gear, which puts them into fourth gear and puts you into overdrive. When you're in overdrive and cruising down the road in network marketing, to network marketing success, it's time to do some serious sharing. Let's pick up our story. The fourth thing while you're on your journey is to use the time, of course. Share your products with the people who are going with you. Let them try them. Let them experience the benefits of the products. When they want to know where they can get them, guess what you're going to do at that point? You share with your friends. Is that selling? If you know that you have a solution to your friend's pain point, isn't it selfish to just be quiet and listen to them complain about their pain point? I'm so tired. I've got aching joints. I'm desperate because I've got no money. And you just go, yes, gee, I'm sorry to hear that. That's so sad. Wouldn't it be more of a friend to say, oh, wow, I understand that. And, someone shared a solution to me because I had a similar problem and I had somebody tell me about a solution. And that's worked really, really well for me. Almost invariably, your friend's going to say, oh, what did you do? What did you use? I'd like to know more. And then you can tell them. But if you haven't used the products and you haven't had developed your own story, you can't help them with their pain point. You can simply sympathize. So for a number of people, this is the retailing part of the business. And remember, we don't, unless of course you're feeling really generous, don't give your products away. This is a business. Jerry Basfield has always said as well, we're in the business of caring and we like to share and we like to help people. But don't forget to ask them for their credit card or debit card or cash. At this point in the course, it is important to notice that as we went through the napkin presentations 1 and 2, and now 3, we've told you the 4 things you have to do to be successful. Not once did we tell you that you must go out and sell. We say you don't have to sell the products in the normal sense of the word sell. We do say you need to share the products with your friends. So anytime anybody says to you, and we get it a lot, I know I hear it a lot, or I don't do sales. And my standard answer is, well, neither do I. But I think I need to reframe that and actually ask them, what is your definition and understanding of sales? And I think if we answer their question with a question and say, well, what do you understand by the term sales? We might actually find out a lot more about what is putting them off. And you simply then dig deeper and dig deeper and dig deeper. There's Zig Ziglar's got a couple of good trainings on that about how to ask questions and what to say and what not to say. You can even share these products with strangers. Louis spoken about, he was sitting at a tennis match the one day, and he overheard somebody behind him talking about a problem that they had. And once the conversation had settled a little bit, he leaned back and he said, I'm terribly sorry to butt in. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation about whatever it was. I think it was aching joints or something like that. And he said, I've got a product that I've used that has worked really well for me in a similar situation. Would you be open to learning more about it? There's only 2 answers that's going to come out of that. No, bite out, leave me alone. I like to suffer in silence. Or yes, what did you use? When they see the benefits of your products and your marketing plan, they will become new friends. So we don't talk to strangers. We make friends and we get to know their friends. So 10 customers or fewer, what does that mean? You don't even need many customers. It can require only 10 or even fewer. And I can say that in my case, I've probably got about 10, maybe 12 comparatively regular customers. And when I say that, I'm meaning they're buying every month or every second month. I've got a couple of customers who only buy once a year because they buy a 5 liter bottle of Super 10 or LDC or LC30. But my more regular customers are ordering every month or at least every 6 weeks or so. And I don't have many of those. If all you ever had was 10 customers, that's okay. All it means is item number 4 below is a very small portion. And that's where it is. Get in and get started. Use the products. Shift into higher gear. And share with friends. And retail or retail them. So if you cover up the number 4 altogether, you could still get to your destination by doing the first 3. However, notice that if you didn't do number 3, get into high gear, and you did a lot of number 4, sharing, you'd never get out of the driveway. That's what salespeople do. They do a lot of selling. Once you understand this and tie it in with napkin presentations number 1 and 2, you start developing the proper network marketing attitude because you're wanting to develop your network. Somebody asked me a question earlier today in one of the hospitals, and I was able to give them an answer. Even though I couldn't help them myself, I was able to help them by referring them somewhere else. And I jokingly said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I don't remember who, I think it was Zig Ziglar as well, or it might even have been Jim Rohn, who said your net worth relates to your network. So you don't need to always know the answer. And if you can't help somebody, know who you can refer them to. Because if you refer clients to your other friends who have got other businesses who you know can help, the next time they have somebody who's looking for help that they can't help them with, they're going to refer them to you because they know that you can help. And that's why it's so important to let everybody know what you do. It doesn't matter if they join you. As long as they know what you do, if somebody has asked them a question and they can't help, they're probably going to think about you and refer that person to you for the help that they need. And that's where the network comes in. When you're starting out with new members of your organization, you want to get to the number 5 deeply embedded into their subconscious. And that is where number 5 is. So always think of 5. It's a simple round number. All they need to do is find 5 serious people who want to get serious about the business. Not 50, not 500, just 5. Don't look for people to sell. When you run into people in network marketing and ask them how they're doing, you may hear the response, gee, I can't find anyone who wants to sell. There's that word, sell, again. Tell them, quit looking for people who want to sell. However, do start looking for people who want to earn an extra 600, 1,200, 1,500, or 5,000 Rand or dollars per month without having to go to work every day. Now remember, this is network marketing. It's not net sit back and let the money come in marketing. This is network. So it does require effort. However, in today's lifestyle, as we saw when the world came to an end a few years ago, a lot of people suddenly discovered that they could work very effectively from home. As Alan Blaine likes to say, this is a business that you can work from phone. Because even if you don't have a home, you've got a mobile office like I do in my car, you've still got a phone. That is where your business is. So anywhere that you have cell reception and there are people, or there are people uh, without cell reception. You can do the business. You will go to work wherever, whether that means going to work at the beach, whether that means going to work in the supermarket or at a coffee shop. Isn't that better than, pardon me, than having to commute through traffic and stop goes and taxis and all sorts of other fun things on a daily basis? You can work wherever and whenever you like. Do you or they know anybody who would like to work from their home or from their phone? Your answer and theirs, like mine, will probably be, yeah, everybody would like to do that. How would you like to wake up when you finish sleeping? And when you do, go, wonder who I'm going to help today. But I'm going to go for a walk down to the beach first of all. And on your way, you meet somebody and you get to chat to them. Wouldn't it be nice to know that you've chatted to them, you've created a relationship, they've told you that they're out walking because their joints are aching, and you go, wow, I had that problem and I wasn't even able to walk at one stage, but I found something. Somebody introduced me to a product that worked really, really well for me, and carry on walking. Because I can guarantee you they are going to ask you what it is. I like to do that with my patients as well. I go, I had that problem as well. I had an aching wrist. I had arthritis in my wrist. It used to make a noise in my wrist and my thumb. It was very painful. And I've been able to reverse that. And I carry on talking to them. And they go, but what did you do? And I go, oh, okay. What I use is I use a fish oil supplement and a glucosamine supplement. Oh, what's that? And we go for it from there. And I've learned to keep some stock because I've had a good couple of spontaneous sales as a result. I don't go out and I tell people every time, oh, you need to buy this, that, and the next thing. I simply tell them my story and it goes from there. And these people are the people that you want to talk to because everybody would like to have that kind of money coming in. Think about getting paid not only once a month. I love it because I get payday, and then it's about 10 days later, I get second payday. It's wonderful. And if you're selling something, well, payday happens when that money comes in every day. Simply point out that it may take 5 to 10 hours of their spare time each week to build a business. Now, they don't have to put in 5 hours a day or 10 hours per day. 5 hours a week is 1 hour a week, 1 hour per day. And that 1 hour doesn't have to be a focused, concentrated 1 hour. It can be 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 3 minutes somewhere else. That's all. Put together, it's an hour or 2 hours, depending on how quickly you want to build your business. But then hasten to say, what's wrong with that? If you're putting in 5 to 10 hours of spare time per week, and I'll about guarantee you pretty much everybody has 1 to 2 hours per day. People sometimes get into network marketing programs and think somehow it's all going to happen just because they signed up. Not so. Remember, the car we are driving to our destination does not have an automatic transmission. I know, and surely you know, people who have gone to college to get a degree, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Maybe you're one of them. I went to Technicon, what it was called back then. Now it's called University of Technology or whatever the funny term they call it, or college or university. But I had to study to get to the area that I am in my profession. I'm pretty sure if you go to your doctor, you want to know that he spent time in university and he's continuing his training, because otherwise you probably wouldn't trust him very much. But yeah, you go to school every day. You study all day and half the night, week after week, for years to become a doctor. It took me 3 years and another year's internship before I was qualified to do my job. And I still have to attend webinars and seminars and continual training every single month. Otherwise I'm not allowed to continue practicing. Then when you finally graduate, how much money can you make? Doctor does not pay for his studying over all the last 7 years, his first week of opening. It takes quite some time. So give 5 to 10 hours of your time each week to learning the 10 napkin presentations and everything you can about network marketing company you are representing. And don't just learn it, put it into action. When you learn and understand the napkin presentations, you can teach them to others. The course you are doing today is your key to tomorrow's success. We don't want you to get uptight by thinking you can't teach someone what you are learning here. Sure, this may be the first time you've read or heard these concepts, and we really can't expect you to know it all well enough to teach it immediately. But then you don't have to. Know where to send them to. Remember, to get into a network marketing program, you have to have a sponsor. If your sponsor is a real sponsor, he or she will help you with your first 5 people. Notice it's a helping relationship. In the process of showing the napkin presentations to your friends at meetings, one-on-one or groups, your sponsor is training you as well. As a suggestion, we ask that you get some sort of goal for yourself. When you are about 20% up the ladder in your program, you should know and understand the 10 napkin presentations. Keep doing something, you'll learn it pretty quick. By the time you get 3/4 of the way, you should be able to teach others. When you are at or near the top, you'll be able to teach your people to teach others. It's something beneficial that you can master over a relatively short period of time. With this course and or the CD on the same subject, you can sit down and study the material again and again and again, just as if you were studying to become a doctor. If you were given an assignment to do the above and you had to go through the material 5, 6, or even 10 times, and a year from now it meant you could be making $2, $3, $4, or even $6,000 or rands a month, would it be worth spending 5 to 10 hours a week? Now, let's put this into perspective. $6,000, multiply that by 18. I'd say it's worth it. On average, people spend far more than 10 hours watching television. So why not consider changing a habit and change your life by doing so? Now you have to admit, that's a pretty neat way to go to school, isn't it? Take a look at some of those college textbooks and try to learn what they contain. They're probably not going to make that kind of money for you. Certainly not in a year. Welcome to the Network Marketing University. So the 4 things that you have to do: get in and get started. Use the products or company services. Shift into high gear. Share with your friends, as in retail. And one last reminder, for more copies of this book, plus the system, visit the website www.45second.com. Everything is there. So what is this 45-second presentation? When you subtract out the sleeping time, commuting time, working time, and time for things you have to do each and every day of your life, almost all people don't have more than 1 or 2 hours each day to do what they like to do. And if they had the time, Would they have the money to do it? We have discovered a way for you to learn how to own your life by building a home-based business. And we have a system for doing it that is so simple, anyone can do it. It doesn't require selling. And the best part is, it won't take much of your time. If you're interested, I'll get you some information. Simple, isn't it? Does anybody have any questions or comments before I stop recording?
Well done, Sean.